Episode 9. Awesome. Demogorgons are everywhere. Will Byers stands in the middle of the abyss. But he's not afraid anymore. He raises his hand. The rock rips in the air. Vecna screams. The screen fades to black. Stop! That episode does not exist, but millions of people are convinced it should have. And that belief alone tells us something went very, very wrong with the ending of Stranger Things. Because when a show ends properly, fans move on. When it doesn't, they invent explanations. That's how the myth of the secret 9th episode was born. That's how Conformity Gate took over the internet. Why people refuse to accept the ending. Season 5 didn't feel like an ending. It felt quiet, contained, safe. After 5 seasons of trauma, loss, monsters, and body horror, the finale wrapped everything up with smiles, music, and relief. No final sacrifice. No irreversible cost. No emotional scar that couldn't heal. For a story that taught us running away doesn't save you, the ending felt like it ran away. So fans started asking questions. And once you start looking for patterns, you will always find them. The number 7, the loop theory. Everything begins with a dice. Season 1, Episode 1. The kids play Dungeons and Dragons in Mike's basement. Will rolls the dice. 7. Moments later, he disappears. That seemed to define the entire series. Now jump to the final seconds of Season 5. The D&D book closes. The camera lingers longer than necessary. A dice rests on the table. 7. In D&D, 7 is not success. It's not victory. It's not survival. You need a 20. Fans immediately connected the dots. If the story began with 7 meaning failure and ended with 7 again, then the story never actually ended. It looped. Or worse, it lied. The Vecna is still winning theory. Vecna doesn't just kill. He manipulates perception, memory, reality. So, what if the ending wasn't real? What if it was a constructed illusion? A mental cage designed to pacify survivors? A world where everyone is safe, where trauma magically fades, where consequences disappear. A world where the audience is told, it's over, be happy. That's not a victory, that's conformity. Hence the name, Conformity Gate. The glitches that fueled everything. Fans began freezing frames, and they found oddities. Nancy's hand in the credits doesn't look human. Vecna's fingers don't align properly. Some shots look warped, almost artificial. People accused Netflix of using AI-generated art. Others went further. They said these weren't mistakes. They were fractures in the illusion. Visual proof that what we're seeing is unstable. Because if Vecna controls minds, then the final episode itself could be part of the mind game. Even the credits cannot be trusted. Continuity. Errors or memory bleeding. One scene shows a voltage meter glowing red. Cut to the next shot. Same location. Same moment. Now it's gray. Graduation pamphlets show green gowns. The students wear orange. That alone seems minor. Until fans remembered something chilling. Orange graduation gowns were common in the 1960s, when Henry Creel was a student. So why does modern Hawkins reflect his past? Unless the present is being overwritten. Unless Vecna's memories are leaking into reality. Will Byers never escaped. Will's arc was supposed to be complete, but the finale places him in a familiar frame. Still, silent, rigid. The exact posture used by Henry Creel, by Billy while possessed. 5 seasons later, Will still mirrors Vecna's victims. That doesn't feel like closure. It feels like infection. Eddie Munson and the Meta Trap. Before Eddie died, he described Vecna's defeat during a D&D campaign. He said the villain would lose an eye and a left arm.
But again, he's not only missing his left arm, its left eye.
That is exactly what happens. Fans asked a disturbing question. What if the finale wasn't reality? What if it was just another campaign narrative? Another story layered inside another story? Stranger Things has always blurred fiction and reality. Some believe the final battle never happened at all. The details that shouldn't disappear. Karen Wheeler's neck scars vanish. No explanation. No healing scene. No dialogue. They're just gone. In a show obsessed with consequences, that absence is loud. Too loud. January 7th, the day nothing happened. The number 7 appeared again. Fans predicted January 7th as the release date for the real finale. Netflix dropped nothing. No teaser, no announcement, no episode. And that silence shattered the theory. The uncomfortable truth, there is no secret episode 9, no hidden upload, no grand deception. What fans interpreted as clues were likely rushed editing, inconsistent prompts, creative shortcuts, not lore, not genius, just flaws. And instead of accepting disappointment, people turned chaos into conspiracy. Because believing Vecna is still playing the game is easier than admitting the writers ended it poorly. Final thought. Looking for episode 9 is like staring at noise on a screen and convincing yourself it's a message. Sometimes the story isn't deeper. Sometimes it's just unfinished. And that might be scarier than any monster in the Upside Down.